I think now we are truly in the era of choice. And I've talked about the fact that we shouldn't be trying to look for a panacea. It's either all work from home, or it's remote, or it's hybrid. Another great label. Um, I think we're going to find a very uh, blurred and blended sort of range of solutions, a patchwork quilt of things, because different companies with different cultures, different leaderships, different positions in the overall life cycle will want to do things differently. And it's been evidenced by, the big names. I'm also quite fascinated to see what SMEs are thinking about. They must be totally bewildered by what the choice is. So I think for people out there, I would suggest that you really need to think about three things. I call them the three C's. You need to understand your constraints, you need to understand your context, and you need to understand choice. And I'll dwell on choice for a minute just to amplify this, because I don't think people realize just how big the change has happened in the last year. Human behavior is a funny old thing. And years of legacy is also quite difficult to overcome. And I know there's a lot of people, and I sometimes think like this, that we're all, it'll revert back to normal. But um, for the first time ever, both bosses and employees are thinking about what choices they have. And, the bosses saying, maybe I can get everyone to work from home. And one of the unintended consequences is that the C-suite may well, some of them presume that work from home is an easy thing to do. And those of us who know a bit more about it know it's far from that. But also on the staffing side, the war for talent never went away, and I think it's been exacerbated further as we have another range of permutation of choice. You see what's happening across the US in terms of the flight from Silicon Valley. You see many towns and municipalities in the States in particular offering bounties for people to come and relocate there. You see people voting with their feet. You see in Britain, the housing market in counties outside of London has gone through the roof because people are saying, you know what? I don't want to commute anymore on a Monday to Friday. So um, a lot of people are asking themselves the question, there's got to be more to life than 9 to 5, including a 1 or 2 hour commute. Now, if they're asking that, and if they're prepared to maybe accept different conditions for an equivalent uplift in their personal life, and bear in mind, a lot of people have died and a lot of people have suffered. And there's a lot of people in our community today who are suffering from COVID. And it's not a pleasant experience, but it'll force people to think differently. So that's why I keep saying we're not going back to normal, but it's going to be something different. And that goes back to the point. Well, let's recreate. Should we have a 21st century renaissance in the workplace? I ask myself.
I actually think we're going through that. We just don't know what it looks like. And I guess for each organization, it's going to be unique for them themselves. But when we talk about choice, whose decision do you think choice belongs to?
I think it's very difficult to generalize. I was speaking to Paul Luciani in Sydney a couple of days ago, and he was telling me that Australia is opening up. It's probably 80% back to normal. But what's happened there is that the employee is driving the agenda, and they're saying to Mr. Employer, if you don't give me the flexibility I want, I'll find another organization who will.
Unfortunately, at the moment, and it's a natural reaction, there's a binary discussion going on. Home, work. People just don't stay at home and go to work. And if they do, that's depressing. People need to be able to home, headquarters work, and everywhere else you need to be in your day. If we're only talking about problem solving, everywhere you need to be to solve that problem. But if we're talking about the individual, everywhere you need to be to have maximum well-being. So the problem, and it was a problem as soon as COVID hit, but now I'm seeing a lot more now. People saying, okay, so if we bring all our employees back, say, half the time, so they're in here half the time, and they're at home half the time, okay, job done. No, that's not true. If you've got people working half the time at home and half the time at work, most of those people are going to go, I need to work somewhere else. I can't just work from home anymore because, the in-laws have moved in. I can't go to the headquarters because it's not on my day and it's too far away, because a lot of people have actually relocated during COVID because they can work remotely. So I need a third space. Give me a third space, right? And so third spaces are going to be the make or break criticality of this. If you look at your individual as a workplace, it starts the moment they get out of bed. What role do you play in the working experience of that person from home? What role? At the moment, no one wants to talk about it. But if people are going to spend 3 or 4 days a week at home, who's going to manage that? Is it going to be the workplace person? Because if you don't manage them from the time they get up until the time they go to bed, and some other company is willing to do it, you're going to lose them. They're going to, if they've got the capacity to wake up, and here's my typical scenario I share. I get out of bed, first thing I do is go to my smartphone or my smartwatch, and it says, "Good morning, Paul. Today we've set up a space 3 kilometres away. This happens to be an agile space that we've found for you. 2 of your team members will be there. Your client's going to meet you there at 10 a.m. All your documents are on the cloud waiting. And after that, you've got 4 hours of free time. We really recommend that here are the exercise regimes we've got. Look, we've given you a gym membership here, whatever. But after that, we'd like you to come into the headquarters because we've got an association industry event. We've organised an Uber, blah, blah, blah." Facilitated, pre-thought, and linked tangibly to my problem-solving ability and my working outcome.